And that's what you don't want to do. What's up guys, James K here, Camp Skidmark. If y'all follow the channel, we just got back from our dune trip to Wayne Oak, Oklahoma. Everybody had a good time. We did a little bit of drag racing out there. Found out my bike's not exactly where I want it to be when lined up with everybody else. Right now it only has the big two, the Trinity Stage 4, and it has a power commander. I even have the stock air filter on it. But after we got back, I was doing some research and I called the guys over at Cuervo ATV and ordered a air intake and a camshaft, and we're gonna do a install on that. So here we go. I just unboxed it. Air filter, intake, boots, camshaft, cam spec. It's a hot cam, stage 2, and there's all the airbox bracketry and the timing chain tensioner gasket. Ordered it, I had it within about a week. So we're gonna start putting it together. Or I guess we're gonna start taking it apart first. Jerry, fast forward. All right, I removed all the plastic on the bike, the back plastic to access the air box, get all that stuff out of the way. Then I had to pull the gas tank out to get to the valve covers, front and rear. There's the cam cover, and these are the two things you take out to set it to TDC. And pull the cover off, it'll all be lined up, and that's how you know where you're at. Everything comes apart relatively easy. That cover there, just make sure you unsnap that from all your cables first. The dash unplugs. The fuel pump was real hard to get out right here. I'm gonna put some grease in there and put it back together. I mean, this thing's 2 years old and it was that hard already with the sand and water in it. So anyway, pull the motor apart. Okay, there's a line right in that hole. You line that up, then there's a line up here. Lines up with the mark at the top. So you line that up, and that's TDC. I guess we're gonna take the tensioner off first and then take the cam out. Now if I was smart, I'd have took some white out and marked the timing chain and the sprocket together. That way I'd know exactly where it needed to go back, but I forgot to do that. So if you're scared that you're gonna get it out of the tooth or wanna make this part easier, and you do that, I wish I would have done it, because I would already be finished now instead of still messing with this shit. And now I'm just getting aggravated. cam retainer. Inside the cam, you got to pull this out, and there's a pin in there slotted towards you that comes out. Just stick a screwdriver in there and it just pops right out. That's the stock cam. Just some regular engine assembly lube. There we go. Okay. Just jiggle it around a little bit. It'll slide right back in. Okay. Just takes a little bit of finesse. The two bolt holes that hold the retainer clip in, there and there, have Loctite in them. So we're going to clean those out and reinstall Loctite. Clean the bolts as well. This is torque to spec. You have to make sure that that pin right here aligns in that notch. This part here is a pain in the ass. Maybe just because I'm stupid, I'm not sure. There it goes. Okay. All right, it's in. You can't even put this on the wrong way. As long as you see the line, it's only gonna go one way. You can't mess it up. I say you can't mess it up. Now, if I was smart, I'd have took some white out and marked the timing chain and the chain and the sprocket together. That way I'd know exactly where it needed to go back, but I forgot to do that. So if you're scared that you're gonna get it out of the tooth or wanna make this part easier, and you do that, I wish I would have done it, because I would already be finished now instead of still messing with this shit. And now I'm just getting aggravated. Sure, there's a torque spec on all that, and we're gonna find it. So I read the spec online. It said 14 foot-pounds of torque on these 4 bolts on the cam, and 7 on the torque cover, on the timing cover. Also said use red Loctite on these, so that's what I'm doing. Bitch. And that's what you don't want to do. Have you ever heard of go fish? Because I dropped that bolt in that hole. All right, so I dropped that down in there. It's down in the timing chain area. I don't have a magnet on a stick, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some of the rest of this together, and then I'll go get a magnet. So again, you make sure you reset that, but it's not putting no pressure on anything. I can't run the valves till I get the bolt out of there. I can't put the tensioner spring in until I hopefully get the bolt out of there without having to pull the side of the motor off. Oh, what a dumb mistake. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the air box. Hell's my 4mm at? Alright, so I pulled the intake this back. The intake boot comes off, 4mm Allen on the clamp. There's the one I was looking for. You have a hose on here for the crankcase vent. There's that, and you got a sensor right there. So you got more hose than a New York pimp, that's for sure. Goodness gracious. Just pop the sensor out. Boom. Threads in right there. I'm gonna put a little bit of red Loctite. Hour meter out of the way. There, pulled back. And there's the throttle body. So one hose, two hose. Then you have a plug in right there. Plugs back in. And we're done. Put the sensor in there, and it comes with two 90-degree fittings that thread in there and there. There's a skinny and a thick clamp, and there's a skinny and a thick on the grommet. So the skinny clamp looks like goes on the throttle body, the thick one goes on the plastic air box. I'm going to indicate mine towards the right side because it looks like it'd be easier to get to. It's all seated up all the way around, tight. There it goes. You'll feel it slide in. It'll go in and it'll slide in. You know, you're all the way made it up. All right. All right, so we're back. Battery went dead. That's clamped in. The hoses are ran. All the vent hoses are connected. There's a Y under here. Connects to the throttle body, crankcase. Then the top hose connects right here. It's got spring clamps on it. Those clamps are tightened down. All the intake clamp that holds the intake tube to the boot and the boot to the throttle body are all tight. I'm lying to you. This one right here is not. Tight with the T-handle now. I tightened all the clamps down with 8mm here on the throttle body, and on the front of it I just did it with a screwdriver. The computer mounts on, it's bolted up. Set the back fenders back on it. All right, so after many emails and text messages and videos, I decided that this SCI box deal, they give you no fucking directions. So this tab here, I put in here, I put in the washer that came off the factory with the spacer in it on the factory plastic right through there, so don't smash it. Bolted it to there. The same thing over here, came off that mount and went to there with it. The only thing about this bracket is these bungs are pressed in from the back side, so they're not really holding anything. So it's like this bracket's bent wrong, I'm stupid, or I don't know what I'm doing, because if I flip this on the other side, it hits the frame. So I mounted it like this, there to there. I put the other bracket that came with it here through that slot with the same washer, bolted it all to here, and I think I like that. Got the tail section all sitting here right. Only thing I haven't got done yet is the tune. I'm waiting for Cuervo to send me the tune. And after we get the tune, we can test ride it. But the cam install should roughly take about, this whole thing should probably take you about an hour to hour and a half if you know what you're doing. If you drop the bolts down in the motor like I did, you can expect to spend an extra 30 minutes. And the frustration of this tail section airbox situation without any directions or any kind of nothing else. Like I said, bolt that bracket to there. The other bracket should bolt here to here. But like I said, these bungs do look like they're in wrong. I don't know if they'll vibrate out or if they're welded in or what, but they're flat on the inside and they're headed on the outside, which is incorrect. So anyways, I get it flashed, I will get back with you.